Hi folks, I got some great news to report today. We finally got the woodshed built, well enough to load the wood in, and we took in a delivery of firewood, and through the help of family and friends, we got all that firewood moved back out there and stacked in the woodshed. I'm really excited about this. We put it off for like 6 months, and anyway, it's all done, and I want to take you out there and show you how it looks. So come on, we'll take a walk. It's a beautiful early fall day. We certainly haven't had frost yet, but we've seen low 50s. The apple tree is dropping its apples. We're picking them up just as fast as they fall. So let's head out there to the shed. So today's challenge is cleaning out this shed to get ready for the first load of firewood, which is coming in later tonight, I believe. We'll just cover it, and then because it's going to rain this evening and then tomorrow, and then the beginning of the week, Monday, we'll start working at hauling it out here. I would really like to have it drop closer to the shed, but we're about maybe 100 feet from the driveway, and the area that they would back in is through there down to the street, over across the front yard and back to the driveway, and that's all really soft. We've done it before, and then it took us forever to clean up the yard, from the ruts and everything. And then the guy charges us more because it's more effort. One time he got stuck, it's not worth it. So this used to be where they dropped it, and then that's kind of overgrown, and we're working at cleaning that up. But the bottom line is we'll haul it in with this cart, and I have another smaller cart that we use, and we'll bring it out here and get it stacked in a shed similar to that. Now that is this coming winter's firewood that will burn. The stuff coming back in tomorrow is all green, and that'll sit here, and that will be used in the winter of 27, 28. So it'll be in there and it'll dry. And when we built this, we built the eaves are open, as you can see, and we put wire mesh in there, and that keeps the squirrels from nesting in here, and they like an exit, a different exit and a different entrance, so they could slip in and out. When I put that in there, it actually stops the squirrels from nesting in here, even though the front door is open. So occasionally you'll get, somebody coming in, checking it out and everything, but then they don't nest. So that saves me a lot of mess to pick up. So this summer, this has been a catch-all. As you can see, I got to move this wood out of here, that tarp. That gutter is going to be reused up here, and it's not that I necessarily need gutters for purposes like you would on a house. I use it so that if snow is dripping or something and you're out here, it's not coming down your neck, you know. So that's why I didn't bother going new. I'm just reusing that. I gotta clean it up, paint it, and then get that installed, but it's not imperative that I do it at the moment. So with that being said, I'm going to get started and get this stuff out of here. And we're ready on this end. Everything is cleaned out. I've got a little, it looks like a little debris in there, but I throw some ant crystals in there. So I never know what I'm going to get for firewood, and if it's going to have bugs in it, you know. So at least, even if it comes in clean, you know, occasionally we have ants down here on the ground, and I don't want them climbing in, and you know, so that kind of helps with that. I've installed this little bar up here. It's a piece of closet rod, and when I go to get in, it gives me a handhold to step up, you know, hold on to something, you know, gives it a wide door. And then there's, I don't know, maybe 8-10 inches of step up there. That helps in snow country, you know, to keep the stuff here. But typically, because that's the north side, the winds will blow through here, and a lot of times I come out here and I find that the whole pathway is wiped clean from the wind overnight, you know, blowing the snow, drifting it, and then it drifts over in this area, which isn't a problem. This keeps us open, so it just saves me a little work for cleaning up. Okay, now we got to get the wood in. So this is the new woodshed. We finally got this filled this week. I had a load of wood delivered out to the driveway, and then friends and family stopped by to help us move it back here to the shed. The inside dimensions on this compute out to it holding approximately 1 full cord of wood, and the load that came gave me enough to fill this shed and this small bit here outside of this other shed here, this area right in here. That's all new stuff too. This fall we're going to take what's in this shed, which is number 1. I have them numbered so that people that help me can come out and do this. This shed here was filled in July of 25, and it holds approximately 1.4 cords. The top is a little empty there, so you know, there's a little bit less than 1.4 cords, but it's a good start. We go through 1.5 cords every winter. The balance of what we'll move in is left in this shed here. There's some there and some in there. This is shed number 2, and that was loaded in July of 25. I haven't measured how much is there. I guess it's irrelevant. but I believe that what we're looking at here and the first shed will get us through the winter. Now, some of you followers know that from the past, we don't burn all night long here. Our house is insulated really well. So we just get up in the morning and start a new fire, burn till about 8 o'clock at night, and then shut it off. So every morning we have obviously started a new fire. So we go through kindling, and we probably go through more than some of the other people who burn all night. So we collect stuff from drops from the trees around us, and sometimes I'm forced into splitting small pieces and stuff. And I keep them all separate out here in this little shed. It's not a big section here. It's kind of sectioned off from around the corner here, the other woodshed. It holds 70 cubic feet, and that's if I bring it up to here, and that's as high as I go because I have to be able to get in and out of it. So, and I just use the dump bin feature where as the pile gets higher I throw another board in, and as the pile gets lower I take one out. And it works really well. I don't have doors and stuff, so it's open, so it can dry out nice. And typically, the 70 cubic feet will get me through more than 2 seasons. So I'm above the halfway mark, kind of. So I feel that we probably have enough. In the fall, what we're going to do is we'll move all of the good firewood, the dried firewood, into the garage, and a lot of this will be boxed up and put in the garage, and then I won't even have to come out here because it's a hike to get here, not necessarily in the summer, but in the winter. Let me just walk over here. You can get a view of how far we have to go. That small door with a hood over it. I usually come out that way. If I'm just coming for kindling, I can come with a barrel and a hand truck. But if I come out for firewood, I have to go down there around the garage and in the front. So obviously this all has to be plowed out for snow, and then if there's ice, you got to throw some sand down, and it's not something I like to do in the middle of winter. So I'd rather just go into the garage, get what I need, and go back in the house. So that's kind of how the situation is today. I still have a lot to do to the shed. I have to put some more corner trim on it. Gutter has to go up on it. The reason for the gutter is that if you're out here after it snowed and you're working in the shed, you've got snow dripping down on your back and your neck and stuff. And I just don't like that. So I like to put a gutter there, and that just takes that little bit of slop down to the ground, and that's it. I guess it protects the wood too, but the wood here, usually when I get the wood, it's in the range of 20% water, maybe a little higher, depends, on the day. It starts drying out rapidly when we get it in the shed. And I'll show you some of the readings I've taken today. This batch here is perfect to go in. I could burn it today if I had to. But once it gets in the garage, it'll dry even more. So I'm sure that I won't get any of those sizzlers. And you know what I mean if you burn wood. So we're looking good out here. I'm pleased, and I think I'm ready for winter once this moves in. So I guess there's that.